Hello, you guys. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful Monday. Recovering from a very special weekend, actually. Hi, love it. Hi, Alicia, Krista, Partytology. All of you guys are definitely adopting a lot of the names. Hello, Marilyn. Good to see you. Hello from Colorado. Hi, Linda. Hi, Cats. It's really good to see all of you guys. Thank you so much for joining us this evening as we're trying to catch up with everything that's going on and everything that we went through this weekend, which it was a little bit emotional. I'm not gonna lie. But I was looking for my rose water, you guys. Somewhere around. Would have been good to spray ourselves right about now. But I just wanted to really give a shout out to all of you who joined us in this journey. Over the weekend, we saw that we had our 75-foot receipt by the amazing Liz Gale that took all that time to write down the name of a child that went through our experience, spoke about it in some sort of way, and was still not enough, apparently. You guys, apparently it's not enough 75 feet of actual names. It's people that we all grew up with. Just imagine if you went to a college and then all of a sudden you had to write down all your college friends' names on a piece of paper, because these hotels and commercial buildings, you guys have, as we told you a million times already, were being run as if they were some sort of like schooling campus. And that's why they recruit a lot of underage kids. That's why when you're there as an underage kid, you go, oh, this is not weird. There's a lot of people my age here. It's all good. We're just the lucky ones getting to be abused. We're just the lucky ones that are getting defrauded, lied to, and being manipulated into unthinkable things. And that's why I wanted to do this Ask Me Anything edition about the protest and talk about this receipt. So I will ask all of you guys, if you're in our comments, to please give us a like and a follow so that we can continue telling this algorithm that we are here to stay, that we are not shutting up at all, and that we're literally just getting started. Because remember that the road of 1,000 miles, the road of 1,000,000,000 miles, you guys, has begun with one tiny baby step. So I think that definitely we took a tiny baby step this weekend, and I really want to, again, thank all of you for being there with us. So I did write something on our community lines this morning that I kind of expanded upon, and I wanted to start this live with this message, a message to exposing the rot within, because that's what we need to go. We need to go within the hotel. I know that we're not allowed to go inside the hotels, you guys. I know that it's literally not allowed, but we do need to expose what the rot is happening within the hotel. And this is a total rebuke of all child oppressors, child trafficking Scientology parents, plus all Scientology so-called executives. Dear oppressors, child trafficking parents, and Scientology executives, your self-serving dark AF delusions have known no bounds. That is a big problem. Let's say it's a literal, yo, Houston, Los Angeles, Austin, Chicago, Kansas, Florida, etc., 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 etc. We have a problem AF. It's that type of moment. Houston, we have a problem AF. And it's actually literally metastasized all over this country. You have dared to cloak despicable acts committed against underage kids in righteousness. But your masks have been torn asunder, revealing the festering rot that lies literally beneath. We, the child survivors of your vile deeds, refuse to cover any longer in the shadows of your tyranny. Y'all's audacity is literally staggering AF. You wielded power like a blunt instrument, crushing innocence underfoot for your own twisted satisfaction. You callously disregarded the sanctity of childhood, leaving scars that cut deeper than any literal physical wound. And yet, in the face of your unspeakable crimes, you have the gall to demand civility from the very same kids y'all went in on having fully child trafficked, and therefore, as a direct result, mercilessly victimized. In what literal world in this country, in these United States of America, to be precise, right, FBI, or wrong? Let us be unequivocal. There cannot be a single shred of reconciliation without actual literal accountability displayed in the actual physical universe. The accountability needs to show up in the physical universe, not just in everyone's delusions of, I left the threshold of a hotel and then all of a sudden I was floating and all my legal exposure vanished because, wasn't I scammed? If you were a grown adult, such as Debbie Cook, who does reside in the state of Texas collecting checks as we speak, just so she can keep her big mouth shut about all the kids she was all about trafficking inside her disgusting hotel of horrors. Right, Debbie Cook? So There will be not a single shred of reconciliation without actual literal accountability displayed in the physical universe. Scientology's collective of parents, with the help of executives, so-called executives, perpetrated actions that have irreparably shattered our childhoods, leaving behind a trail of broken souls struggling to find solace, an unthinkable level of betrayal blindness due to what all kids were put through. Why were children's worlds tainted with El Ron Caca, literal's malevolence? Why did that happen? Y'all stand there as the architects of agony, architects who must be held to task for the suffering you have all systemically and institutionally inflicted at an industrial-sized scale of all kids you have exposed to the scourge of the rants and ravings of y'all's beloved, indicted, convicted felon on the run. Y'all's one and only L. Ron Caca Hubbard. Y'all's hypocrisy is sickening AF. And yes, y'all need to be told that, even if you don't want to hear it. While you preach about morality and righteousness, you revel in the darkness of your own depravity. The fact that y'all indiscriminately expose minors to your sick adult games, of which no child had a shred of capacity to consent whatsoever. You hide behind the facade of authority and faith, exploiting vulnerable kids with callous abandon. But rest assured that as of today, y'all's fake AF facade continues to crumble, and the truth will not be silenced. We refuse to be silenced by your empty platitudes or intimidated by your attempts to suppress our voices. We will not rest until every last shred of child survivor is heard, until every last perpetrator is brought to justice. Thanks to y'all keeping meticulous notes of what you were willing to launder, everything will be done in context according to what is already on those records, so-called PC files y'all deem so privileged. The flames of our defiance burn bright, fueled by the unwavering resolve to expose the depths of your depravity and ensure that justice is actually literally for once in y'all's fake lives actually served. So to the oppressors, child trafficking parents, and Scientology executives, hear this. Your days of unchecked tyranny are numbered AF. The tide of justice is rising, and it will sweep away the detritus of your corruption, leaving behind a brighter future for all kids who will not be exposed to the scourge of the unhinged writings of a convicted, indicted felon that didn't give a fuck about his proteges. So Again, thank you guys so much for holding space for these unthinkable conversations that we cannot stop advocating for every underage kid that is still very much exposed, as if we don't have literally an Austin Pearl Snappy standing outside witnessing underage kids being brought in to that disgusting commercial building that they set up. As if we weren't told by Debbie Cook herself back in the day when we were going to graduation, every graduation, they were telling everyone, oh my God, so many great things are happening, you guys. I still remember when they were buying that building close to the university. It's going to be great, you guys, because you know what? We're going to be so close to the university and so many people are going to find out and join us. And imagine, Pearl Snappy is there with how many of her protesting there compared to how many billions these people are making on the back end over unthinkable shit that they should not be just charging on their American Express, mind you. American Express, where in the literal hell is American Express that banks these people? Because right about now, American Express, we would love to hear where the hell you are. Are you having coffee with JP Morgan Chase? Because if you don't know, American Express, JP Morgan Chase did get sued for banking Jeffrey and Ghislaine. Just an FYI, American Express that can sit there charging all manner of cards that fund what exactly inside of those hotels. By all means, American executives of American Express, start typing why anyone can just go into those hotels and charge $100,000 on my Amex. I got this. Get me a child. Let me go in session. Let me really go free. American Express, where in the hell are you all banking these people? By all means, advice already. Don't play dumb. Play dumb. We don't have a shred of patience for anymore. Literally not even a single shred. And all the stupid idiots at Chase that, oh, did you get scammed, Chase? Or who was getting scammed exactly with that blue wave? Exactly advice. Because as of today, they're still banking all manner of people, the banks. Why are the banks so dumb? Why are the banks not able to see a shred of a thing? Why are the banks so in their pocket? Helping them move the millions from this account to that account, to that account, to that account, to this account, to that account, to that account, to this account, to that account, to that account. Why is that happening? So yes, American Express leadership, by all means, step it the F up and actually defend why you bank these people. And if you want to tell us that because the IRS told you, well, you know what? Contact your people at the IRS. Contact them. And by all means, have the IRS commissioner himself type you a letter, American Express, on why a child can be locked up inside one of those hotels, why a child can be video recorded asking unthinkable, disgusting questions, why a child can be falsely imprisoned inside one of those hotels while you all collect fees on the side. Because that would be very great to understand from American Express why these people are, just thriving and buying more buildings because they just don't have enough. If you don't know, now you do know. So stop playing dumb. Legal Department of American Express, stop playing dumb and dumber. Y'all are the big corporations that really have a big legal department that really supposed to make sure you have no liabilities. Well, explain why Scientology is not a liability to American Express. Explain that to us, the kids that were doing the grunt work, while patrons were coming to that hotel to pay. I want 12 and a half hours with that child. Now. Give me a discount. I want a discount. Call up my business manager. Tell him to discount it off my taxes. The IRS hooks me up. Let me really go inside this hotel and, really gonna have a religious experience for myself. American Express leadership. Y'all are just hiding underneath your little corporate desk, pretending we haven't heard anything. I mean, I guess they do move a lot of millions, but I guess a lot of people are donating a lot because it's a hotel that is a church, that it also is celebrity center place, but it's also a place where you just up and open these commercial buildings and all manner of people just come in and out and nobody knows anything. That's all we ever get. Nobody knows. We're not aware. We're not aware of nothing. We don't see anything. Really? You don't see anything? Nothing. So those are the questions we need to understand, you guys. These are the questions we need to move forward with actual accountability. Who is in aiding and abetting all of this disgusting stuff? And what are they getting out of it? Right about now, that's what we need to understand. In what world are we on the year 2024? And nobody knows nothing. Nothing. JB, just showing mad respect for your activism. Keep fighting the good fight. Thank you so much, JB. I really appreciate that. So let's move to the question side of this segment, you guys. I'm seeing if you guys have any questions here, literally written. Here we go. Hillary Murphy, question, where is Luke Watson these days? Thank you, Hillary. Good question. He's couch surfing, last I heard. He's a grown man that, has had a very traveling circus type life, covering up things for his buddies. So he's nowhere in any great place. That's all I have heard of him. Hi, Timber. Hi, Let's Dance. Audit Humanity. Hello, Serge. It was nice to see you all together over the past few days. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was great, you guys. It is good to get together. Oh my God, I can't even read some of these names that you guys are putting for yourselves. Seriously. You know who you are, I'm sure. Steffi T. Question, are you okay? A lot happened this past week and make sure you take care of you. Love all that you're doing. Thank you, Steffi. Yeah. I mean, we're okay, you guys. We're luckily okay. We have to take a lot of measures and precautions, and luckily we do have access to therapists now and people in our life like all of you that are supporting it and supporting ourselves and seeing us. And as survivors, that's all a survivor could ever want and hope for. You guys, to be empowered, to know that they're not alone, to know that they're not crazy. And, I know that it's a privileged position that some of us are finding ourselves in as we are gaining all of you as audiences willing to listen and hold space for our trauma. And in that same token, hopefully also provide a voice for you to witness your own version of your pain being, exposed in another brand, right? Because that's all it really is called, a brand. Everybody hides under this brand. I'm part of this brand. I'm really part of this thing. I'm part of this blah. And then it's like, but like Liz Ferris and Pearl Snappy were talking about earlier, it's all the same version of the same snake oil. When you're getting abused, when you're being dehumanized, when you're being literally trafficked by either your parents having a horrible childhood because your parents were, our parents were addicted to L. Ron Hubbard's crack. Your parent might have been addicted to alcohol. Your parent might have been addicted to another type of drug that made them completely check out. And like we were hearing from Pearl Snappy's story, she had a childhood where she had to be the adult. And, doesn't that ring true to so many of us that always just had to be adulticized from inception because it wasn't safe to be kids. It wasn't safe to be naive. And our brains were put already on overdrive. So that's no bueno. And all we can do now as adults, as if it's not taking our half of our lives to connect these dots. And that's where we find ourselves on the flip side, but on the flip side where we actually now have to do the heavy lifting because it's only right. It's only right we do this heavy lifting, you guys, because it's only right that we're being the change we want to see. We can only advocate from the standpoint of what would I have wished somebody would have been doing while everyone played dumb that I was getting abused inside of this hotel and commercial building where everyone just ran past a million red flags. And you know what? Today, we are here to question the red flags that were run by with a full straight face. And we are allowed to do that. Given that there's still minors being recruited as we speak, as we literally speak, given that there's been absolutely -0 done to even put a shred of common sense guardrails for any child that was getting involved themselves in this disgusting scheme. It's called the children were getting ensnared. We didn't know what in the hell they were doing. We didn't know what in the hell they were talking about. And turns out we shouldn't have known because it was all just a bunch of BS. Question, did you think anything of it when you were taken out of school? Psych hystera. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We thought we were lucky. Oh my God, we're going to do these courses. You're going to be so much smarter than everyone else in humanity. And I mean, that's how gullible and naive children are, you guys. And that's why it's unthinkable that these people with a straight face sell their con game to a bunch of underage kids. It's unthinkable that the parents are fully in on it. And in what world was I supposed to think there was anything wrong with it when my parents are acting really confident? It's like, no, you don't need that. L. Ron Hubbard did say here in this lecture that nobody needs to go to school. Meanwhile, he was pitching that he had all these like certificates from school. Oh, I went to George Washington. I'm a specialist in, what was it? Like atomic something, whatever. Like all this BS, you guys, and nothing made sense. And at the time as a child, your brain has not developed. And we were always had these adults that pretended that we were adults with fully developed brains and we were able to be on that same level. And that's why, we keep calling out these atrocities, because it's one thing that these adults loved it rough, loved it being indignified, loved it being humiliated, loved it being financially domineered. They loved it. They loved every single aspect of it. They would always go out there and say it was great, it was wonderful, it was amazing. And that's why we're questioning what in the hell that is. Like, how amazing can it really be? is what's being questioned on the public record. How amazing is it really? You know, because y'all have seen, like, I don't even have time to react to all the stuff that is on the public record already, you guys, but you see the so-called wins. You know, those videos where they just blab and blab and blab all this hype that means nothing. It means nothing. It's called when you are an adult and you self-infantilize because you want to play a game, because you want to pretend that this is this and pretend that this is that and pretend. And it's like all of these Scientology parents are being called out for having to explain what they were pretending about. That's what we really would like to start understanding right about now. Why in the hell were you pretending? Because adults cannot call themselves kids in adult bodies. That's called being a degenerate. So if they do go to be 45 and go with a straight face to tell a 14-year-old that they're nothing but an adult just like them, by all means, if that's not called a degenerate, then I don't know what is actually a literal degenerate. Thank you, philosophy. Thank you, Liz. Snake oil. It's just that same thing, you guys. It's same shit, different air freshener. It's all it is. All these scams, they're just scams. They dehumanize people. They put them in unthinkable situations. We need it to stop. And we are allowed to say that. We're finding out this late in our life that we are allowed to say that this should be stopped and that there's nothing wrong with us literally living for the day where we know what was done in our childhoods is not done to another child. Because that's the handicap that we carry as a result of having no childhood for ourselves and stuck in those hotels. JB Normal question. Do you have any contact with any of your family members? No. Not with my immediate family members. I have, I have aunts that did leave, that I have a very good relationship with. And it's probably the only person that has ever apologized out of any of those adults. So, and it happened many, 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 many years ago already, so I'm lucky to have, some cousins that also left that are not implicated and are not, continuing this generational trauma that, some of my cousins are passing down to now their kids. They're exposing them to the scourge of whatever was normalized for themselves. So, but yeah, no, none of my immediate family, my two sisters, my parents, absolutely no contact. And it will remain that way for the rest of my life. They need to figure out what in the hell they done. And they do need to figure that out quickly for themselves. Every day that goes by that they're ensnaring themselves deeper and deeper is all just going to be worse for them in the long run. Every day that goes by that they play dumb and go, oh, we're doing so great, we didn't do anything, and Serge is the one with the problem. You know what? I am the one with the problem. And the reason that I have a problem is why they have a problem. That's what in the hell it's called. Marilyn, the fact that Debbie Cook was presented to the public as a hero on the Aftermath show really burns my you know what. Thank you for telling us the truth. Thank you, Marilyn. Yeah. Debbie Cook was a byproduct of these so-called child traffickers that got a full-blown amnesty, apparently. You could be a full-blown Ghislaine Maxwell on steroids and just go get yourself a little deal and, play victim for a minute and cry and go get Dan Harris from ABC News to go give you an interview to sanitize your image real quick, to really pitch you as the victim that you're not. And then all of a sudden you have Ghislaine Maxwell on steroids on payment programs from a quick little settlement that, you know, Scientology attorneys did put on the table. Oh, no, Debbie Cook, never mind. You're on the stand really talking. You know what? Let's just write you a check. How much do you want? How much so that our lawsuit goes away? So whenever y'all hear this BS story about how the corporate media has not been doing this story because, you know, we're just so afraid of getting sued, you guys. Like, we, the corporate media, would never want to be sued. I mean, you know, God forbid our legal department ever gets sued. So, you know, we really have to wash down all the disgusting stories. We never actually put a shred of skin in the game because, you know, who has time in the corporate media to do a story where they're not just going to be able to quickly grift for themselves? Give me the data. Okay, this, that, blah, 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 blah. This type, and sell your little headline with all your BS. Where was your investigation? Oh, I was told, and I was told, and I was told, and I was told. That's all the corporate media has done with this disgusting story, guys. When have they set eyeballs inside the hotel? Never. Other than Reckless Ben. I mean, imagine. Other than literal Reckless Ben with Google glasses on the inside of these hotels, and the corporate media, Vice News, CNN, ABC News, everybody that has touched this with a 10-foot pole. I've only gone, so what was it, Mike Rinder? Ah, okay. Ecclesiastical. Okay, great. Yeah. No, we're really great. Thank you so much for that quote. It's going to really help our story. It's really going to put the legal departments at the Tampa Bay Times able to sleep at night with themselves. Imagine that you're the Tampa Bay Times legal department and you use Mike Rinder to fall asleep, to really go, oh, everything should be great, because we just heard from the head of OSA who, you know, was fair gaming us, was doing unthinkable campaigns on us. Let's not forget that, you know, in Mike Rinder's heyday, when the internet was nowhere to be found, when communication could be manipulated and controlled in the way that they needed for their scam to work, you know, they could get away with all manner of fair game because there was no live streaming. There was no one giving an F about you. And you could just be getting F with over and over and over, and nobody would find out. And the corporate media was too busy chasing squirrels, because that's all the attention deficit they have. Sell and grift. So we need to get the facts exposed. We need to ask why Debbie Cook is still collecting checks. We do need to ask that for ourselves, because Debbie Cook was an unthinkable, disgusting child trafficker that if she had had a shred of remorse of what was her name? The Ruby Frankie has shown when she was facing actual charges. Imagine Ruby Frankie did that to her own children. Ruby Frankie compared to, like, this is Debbie Cook, you guys. Okay. And this is Ruby Frankie. So Ruby Frankie did this and Debbie Cook did this. So imagine the comparison. Ruby Frankie serving how many? 30 years, I think. She caught a plea deal. She literally caught a plea. Imagine what she would have had to get literally convicted and thrown in jail for if she had continued being like, no, but my therapist, you know, Hildebrand was so great. And I just thought I was really going to save a world by sadistically bondaging my kids, because that's a thing in America. You can bondage your kids and, you know, it's not a big deal, because you know what? All you have to do is say that it was a very religious thing that you were doing. And then all of a sudden, so imagine Ruby Frankie that did go to court, that did write a letter, that did say that she was very sorry and that she was very happy that the police department came around to stop her. While this one over here is just going to the bank on a monthly basis, cashing a check. It's another month to stay quiet, right, Debbie Cook? It's another night and day for you to keep your big mouth shut of all the children you were sadistically, brutally trafficking through your disgusting hotels. And you know what? Every day, thanks to all this activism, we keep getting more and more people reaching out about info on you specifically, Debbie Cook. You're becoming one of kids' favorite, given that you had a ton of influence all around and given that you were the captain of a lot of kids. So maybe you want to give a call to your little attorney, Ray Jeffrey, and, maybe y'all have a little chat and see if you should really still be cashing checks or if you should really be stepping into the crimes against children's unit at the FBI. And since apparently Mike Rinder has told them everything there is to know, maybe they just need you. Maybe they just need you, Debbie Cook. And you can save a world by having children not get abused in the way you got away with. That would be really great for you to really figure out a little deal you can cut there with the DOJ. Yo, DOJ, I will stop collecting my monthly checks. I will tell you everything I did. I will tell you all the passports I locked. I will tell you all the kids I false imprisoned. I will tell you every single last kid that was twinned with a self-admitted pedo, because I will come clean. But you know what? Just give me a little deal, FBI. And, throw something between Mike Rinder and I that everything he's already told you. I'm sure that, he told you a lot. That's what he keeps telling us, that it's been decades of telling them all manner of stuff. And again, the FBI, who has a disgusting reputation, come to find out from what's just going on with the Epstein victims, where they really were found to be sleeping at the literal MF wheel. Right, FBI? When you get called, oh yeah, there's a bunch of child traffickers going. That's all we get from you, FBI. The minute you say just sleeping. Sleeping with the literal enemy, FBI. Y'all are the ones with the power. Y'all are the ones with the guns. Y'all are the ones with the subpoena power. Y'all are the ones that are connected with all the things that are written in the literal Constitution already. So before you play dumb and say you have no powers, check the books. Check if the business model that Debbie Cook was running in those hotels doesn't just fit the literal child trafficking laws. Not by why she yaps and tells you, because she's very good at telling you, I was very religiously locking up their passports because that was a very religious thing that, religious L. Ron Hubbard, con man that he was and is, really did tell us to do. Philosophy. Serge, how can we help from a different country? Like when we write letters, sometimes I feel like watching isn't enough. Well, thank you, Philosophy. We can all come up with creative ways of helping you guys. And I don't know what country you're in, Philosophy, but these people have a far, far reach. And, that far reach goes to a lot of countries. So, there might be something going on in your own country. And, right now, that's actually helping this movement a lot. There's people in Chicago that are auditing Chicago. There's, people in Austin. Before this, you might feel like overwhelming, but it's like, we do have technology that's being used, you guys. And the fact that you guys are opening up your time to pay attention and to hear our plight and to invest that, all of that is witnessing. So never discount how much you are already helping just by showing up. Holding space for a survivor is, trust me, something they were never, ever, ever granted by their oppressors, because all the oppressors did is meddle and interject and try to be here, there, manipulate, right? And it's like you guys showing up and just holding space, and that's already huge. That's already huge. Every time that Scientology sees that people are watching us and are finding out what in the hell they're about and are getting concerned that kids are, not in a place where they should be, that's already helping them not get away with it. It's like, in what world has it taken it till the year 2024 for them to be called out for who they are? Child trafficking, disgusting people. Because that would be great to find out, right? It's like, in what world is everything whitewashed under this so-called umbrella of like we were following a religion? No. You're not following a religion if the person who wrote the rhetoric is a full-blown felon con man. Right or wrong, FBI? Right or wrong, FBI director? If anyone in your jail cell starts typing things and writing it on pieces of paper and then just starts putting them out and tells everybody, this is my religion, go and do whatever, just help yourself to kids. Is that just all it takes to circumvent the laws and the Constitution and your law enforcement? Is that all it took? Seriously? Is it really that easy? In what world has nothing changed or stopped or even had been reined back? In what world do you all purport to be so recklessly clueless? How many people have gone to you already, FBI? How many? Why do you always bungle everything that has the word child trafficking attached to it? Child abuse, child traffickers, better luck next lifetime if your child getting abused in America is all we ever literally get. Oh yeah, next lifetime, I'm sure the FBI won't be corrupt. I'm sure the LAPD won't be corrupt. I'm sure the Clearwater PD won't be corrupt. I'm sure Las Vegas PD won't be corrupt. I'm sure Austin PD won't be corrupt. They're all compromised in their own way. So imagine that Mike Rinder has gone to the FBI and told them everything there was ever to know about this operation. And then the FBI is just sitting there with all that info doing jack all. And we have people in Denver too. Truth Seeker, yep. Denver's a trafficking hub. I mean, I don't know Denver that much, but I do know that they have an organization there. And as long as they have a place to send them and ship them and traffic them, then what are they doing, FBI? Are they having a very religious experience for themselves? Jassy J, Saturday was a surreal day. Watched the visit to the blue and then the emotional scroll unveiling. Earlier, I watched the Austin event and the number of children just made me cry. Because that's the thing, you guys. All of these parents have children. So whenever y'all ask us, oh, are children still involved? They're going to always be involved. They're never not saying, oh, this is a very religious hotel, but if you have children, you don't qualify to be inside the hotel. That's never happened in the history of these people operating their disgusting scam and scheme. And, if they would do that, they could maybe stay in business because, again, no one cares that adults want to do whatever in the hell it is that they want to do. Nobody owes them rescuing if they're consenting, if they're all about the, oh, yes, the book said this. Sounds like a great idea to me. I would love to be a part of that. That's what these, police departments tell us, that they don't have the right to go and remove people physically out of buildings. But if kids are being trafficked in said buildings, FBI director, then what? Better luck next lifetime for those kids? Because as you all saw at the end of that scroll were all the ones that didn't make it. At the very beginning of that scroll was Philip Gale. How many more kids need to shh before it's enough? It's really what we want to understand for ourselves. Yeah. PTS for Life shared recent photos of kids with certificates from courses and services like purification. The purification is the first way they rope you in. You guys, oh my God, you're going to really get purified. Don't you want your body to be purified of all the toxins that you have? I mean, again, like how ridiculous and outrageous. Chicana, do you know of anyone who's offended against a child reported by Scientology after being declared an SP? Do I know of anyone who's offended against a child reported by Scientology after being declared? After being declared, I mean, I don't know. They would usually get declared, so-called declared, because they had offended a child. And that's, you know, again, it's like, in what world is a BS piece of paper that a convicted felon wrote up for himself? I'm going to call you a suppressive. And then that's all it took for people to be like, see, we don't put up with that. Like, we did declare him. We did find out everything there was to know about the crime and the felony. We do have it all on videotape. But, you know, we did declare him. So isn't it great that you can just, oh, you know what? Yes, you don't qualify to come to our hotels anymore. You're too much of a liability. It's literally what they call it, you guys. It's like, oh, they became a legal liability. Oops, you know, you don't qualify. You don't qualify to clear a planet, to save a world, or to nothing. You just too toxic now, but you know, better luck next lifetime. Self-admitted felon. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, the noir camera, guys. I mean, when we're out there, it actually helps ground me. Believe it or not, it's like when I see it in black and white, and somehow it's a grounding effect. So there's so many other streams with color that I know some of y'all don't like it, but we're kind of liking it, you know. It is. Laura, did I see Sergio Blinsky? Yes, Laura, we had Sergio Blinsky over, and he had a lot of fun connecting with so many people. It was great to see him. Thank you, Moni. So would like some education on how you and Laura were able to leave. I mean, it was a very gradual process. It took us half of our lives to figure out that we were scammed and that all of these things that we thought were all our fault were not our fault, and that we were scammed and that we were being abused and we were being manipulated the entire time we were there, and that felonies were being perpetrated on us. And we had no language to describe our experience. And I think that's what makes so many survivors not be able to walk out of there. Because if no one ever even calls out what is happening to you, we have no ways of understanding what the child trafficking laws said. We had no way of understanding that being locked up in a hotel room against our will as children is a full-blown felony. And no matter what they were calling it, oh, you're really going in session, you're really going to go free. How in the hell were we going to go free being locked up against our wills, you know, discussing all these horrible things? So it's been a very gradual step of recovery and awareness, I would say. and everybody has a different path to that too, even. Thank you, Rhonda. I really appreciate that. Question: the Squirrel Squad is so invested and absorbed on all your information you provide them. Are you going to do more with them, like emitter sessions, and it really hit home to them even further? Thank you, Jesse. Yeah, we're sort of contextualizing all these things. I'm not gonna lie, doing that disgusting session took a lot out of me. I've never even wanted to even and to have like an actual machine, it was a lot. It was really a lot, even though we were keeping it fun and this and that. But again, it's like our lives were not fun. And like I said earlier, I think in Cam, I put a comment on it at LA Cam. None of these things were fun and games at all. And these kids already feel so uncomfortable just when I even like show them like how they're, because we were trained to have that like domination over the other person. Sit here, go here, and all done with this very sort of pleasant, but, horrible way of dehumanizing others is what it's called. It's like the book said that do this, do that. And we were just like trained like robots to follow this procedure. And, it's good that people are learning what Scientology actually is, because I was like, we've done all these videos and nobody understands what an audit is. So we do have to get into the weeds, because the devil is in the details. And that's what they've actually been profiting off of, that everybody's so glib, so superficial, osa wosa, fair game, disconnection, all these words that sound like they're really advocating against problems. But you know what? If they're not advocating for the sessions ending, for the unthinkable grabbing of minors and locking them up in these so-called sessions, if they haven't repudiated a shred of what they gave themselves the ability to do in these so-called sessions, then, like they would tell you in Scientology, they are not coming clean. They're misdirecting. They're telling part of a withhold, but not the rest. They're telling a half-truth. They're telling a non-truth. They're misdirecting every last reporter they talk to, which all of these executives know. They're very aware that they can run circles around the reporters, you guys, because again, the reporters only regurgitate in whatever capacity or shred of capacity they, I guess, have for themselves to be told something, and in their mind go to some sort of hocus pocus room where they go, this yes, this no, this blah, this. I mean, imagine if, somebody wanted to talk about what it was like to traffic drugs in a cartel, but they had never been inside a cartel. They've never seen anything. They have no access to the culture. Every cartel in the world is walled off. You never know what happens in there. You never have eyesight inside of the cartel installation. And all you do is talk to adults who leave the cartel. Imagine those are the only ones you platform. Oh, you're an adult? Oh, you were part of that cartel? Oh, we want to talk to you. Oh, you were a child? Oh, who cares? That's pretty much what the corporate media does. They don't care that kids were abused. They just don't care. And we can say statements like that because check their abysmal coverage. So before any corporate media wants to go, oh my God, we always get attacked, you guys. We never get it right. Damn right, you never get it right. And you're paid to get it right. So in what world are you not getting it right, corporate media? In what world have you not made millions upon millions upon millions collectively selling your little headlines? And all you ever do is whitewash and water down and write, we were told to really report on something that they have no shred of a clue what in the hell they're talking about. They never do courses. They never do audits for themselves. They never go get ethics handlings for themselves. So how would they know? How would they know? Thank you. Yes, exactly. Very transformative. Mm-hmm. That's right. It's all about the money, power, blackmail. You know, it's thank you, Kiara. Well, you all are seeing it, and that is what is making a difference, you guys. So don't discount your ability to hold space for these unthinkable conversations, finding out and understanding what it is, because you know what? It's been made so confusing for so many years. What should we stop? And can we really tell adults what to think and do? No. Breaking news, you cannot. If an adult is on a self-destructive mission, very few things can be done for that adult. Very, very few options are on the table for adults that are on self-destruction missions. There's just not enough police people to put a babysitter on all of these adults, outsourcing their adult choices to a hotel. In what world are these adults not in on what in the hell they're doing? That is a choice. You all have the choice to go outsource your adult choices to a hotel. You can all go do that. Doesn't even have to be a Scientology hotel. You can go to the Hilton and go to the manager there and say, hi, can you tell me everything I need to do for the rest of my life now? Because I don't want to think for myself and I just want to defer to you for everything. Can you do that? Can I pay you for that? What are we going to go? Oh, stop the Hilton manager from making money from this adult giving them money because they want to outsource all their adult choices. No, that's not a thing. That's simply not a literal thing, you guys. It's just literally that simple. Better though. I was worried when I saw take a faux audit tutorial. How are you feeling after the visit? That mind space. Please take care of yourself in the coming days. Thank you. Better thought, better together. Yeah, like I said, you guys, it's disgusting. It's literally disgusting. It's unthinkable. It's indefensible. It's dehumanizing. It's completely quackery. In what world was I trained to do that at age 12? Stuck with grown-ass men and women inside hotel rooms. FBI director, please advise. American Express, please advise. Because that's who the enablers of these hotels are, you guys. Who banks them? Who literally protects them? Who's on their payroll to enable all of this? They're not doing it alone. There's no way in hell they could ever pull off this type of operation alone. They need American Express. They need Chase. They need JP Morgan. They need banking to move all those millions and wash them all around. So it is unthinkable that they're making money in the thousands of dollars by having kids deliver those audits, so-called audits at $1,000 up to $1,000 an hour in some cases. Imagine. From completing a 2-week course inside of a hotel. Philosophy, no question, just respect for your advocacy to children. Thank you so much, Serge. Thank you, Philosophy. I really appreciate that. Maxi, where can I send you a message? I need your help with reporting to the DOJ. Thank you, Maxi. I think I got your message. So we're still really behind on that, but thank you for sending it. Will you go to the San Diego org with me before you leave San Diego? I'm not in San Diego. I'm in LA. But yeah, I think the San Diego org should be audited too. And thank you so much for auditing it. I know that there should be definitely more audits done there, and hopefully more people start getting encouraged to join you. But don't be dissuaded, you guys. Like, it's all you have to think about is how many supporters are watching your live. And even if you have 20, imagine you had 20 people there with you. You know what I mean? So that's what I say. Never discount the power of what this live streaming is doing for all of us, because, you know, it's showing support, you know, and we are raising awareness. And sometimes the, you know, the journey of 1,000 steps begins with one. And although we might not think that we're so big, like, let's not get caught up in numbers, because numbers don't matter. It's our collective numbers that matter, you guys. That's what's actually awakening the collective. No one individual statistics or numbers on YouTube. So, so yeah, San Diego Audit, thank you for doing what you're doing, because it's all helping. It's all really helping. Why can you file charges for the essay you endured as a minor? California lifted the statute of limitations on child abuse. Yeah, mine happened in Florida, unfortunately. So in Florida, they haven't lifted anything. And in Florida, we're told that everything that happened to us was legal. I did report all my stuff to the Clearwater Police. So the Clearwater Police was informed. The Clearwater Police investigated and came back and told me that everything was fine, that they did their investigation and nothing came up in their investigation. So imagine that. Imagine that I literally was the twin of a self-admitted pedo, and the police of the Clearwater had the straight face to tell me that there was nothing they could find at all. So it's really, really sick. This Clearwater Police, you guys, I cannot even tell you how sick they have to be. Because again, it's not like they don't know anymore. They've been told. They've had time to check what in the hell's going on around their neighbor's hotel. I mean, as if they're not neighbors, literal neighbors, you guys. And I would know that the Clearwater Police was implicated from just having been inside. But I didn't ever think that it was that deep, the corruption inside the Clearwater Police. I always thought maybe they have a couple of cops corrupted, but not to this degree. And not that they would play dumb on something like this. I mean, imagine what that is, you know? Question, any idea why Scientology is scrubbed from stories about protesters? Scrubbed? Why Scientology is scrubbed? Like, I mean, I think they've been mentioning it. Is that what you mean by scrubbed? Like they're not really mentioning Scientology? Because I think they are, but not sure. Could you name one of the most empowering, powerful moments from this past weekend? Well, definitely the unveiling of the scroll, you guys, because again, it's just a receipt. It's the 75-foot receipt that Liz Gale took the time to write down every single name of, and it's a lot of people were like, wow, it's not included or anything. By no means is this first receipt a representation of anything yet. I mean, imagine this is our like literal 7-Eleven receipt that we found in the bottom of the trash can. It's that insignificant in terms of what the size of everything was. But you know what? We started with, okay, let's just bring one. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they don't know. All these kids have already spoken out in some way or another. All of them have, you know, already said, you know, what happened to me in those hotels was not good. So I think that was the most empowering moment. But I mean, again, it's like every moment had a different empowering moment, you know, like being out there with the Nova and just enjoying the sunset and just having like, you know, a part of our lives. I mean, yes, it is true. We come up here and talk about all the horrible things that were done to us in our childhoods, but we have a wonderful life today, and we're celebrating the blessing that means to be on the flip side of that disgusting dysfunction. And, you know, we don't hate our life. We love our life today. I couldn't have told my younger self that this was going to be my life. Like I would have never believed it. I would be like, you're full of You're literally delusional. In what world would I think that my life would end up being what it is now? So I'm very, very thankful and very, very grateful to have so much support, to have so many wonderful friends, to, have so many people that I care about so much, being heard, being acknowledged, being advocated for. We are our most fiercest advocates. We were inside of the hotel. We do have skin in the game. Our entire childhoods were ripped apart. We have a dog inside of the fight, literally. And it's called Our Childhood Was Ripped Away and is still being done to other kids. And no one can play dumb. Like, we're not going to play dumb. Like, that's exactly what the corporate media has done. Like Joe's just telling here, that's exactly what, plenty people are on the public record playing dumb. Playing dumb is easy, you guys. Playing dumb is so easy. Literally, it takes no effort to play dumb for people. Question: how could Matt compare Aaron to DM in the message to Kelly? My heart breaks for all of you. You are a strong soul. I hate to continue to lie and withhold information from you, gens. Please, squad. I mean, again, it's like it's the only go-to that they have to demonize and dehumanize and point fingers because they don't have the facts on their side and they know it. And for whatever unthinkable reason, they also have not a single bit of shred of self-awareness, apparently, to come to the table and have a real discussion like real adults that they are. All we get is infantile, name calling, as if that really does anything for anyone. It's insulting. It's really, really insulting. And, it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. Corgi. Serge and Michael are on at the same time. I'm so torn. No, well, you know what? Replay crew is always amazing, you guys. There's no literal, we just do it when we can and watch him, watch me. We're just talking about things, so don't feel bad. Yeah, whistleblowing, which Ruby Frankie the other day, she got a plea deal and they nabbed one with more liability to Jody. Yeah, and we haven't even reacted to Jody's sentencing yet. I mean, again, you guys, it's like the amount of information coming in is so overwhelming sometimes that I'm just like, I don't even know where to start. It's just like it's literally paralyzing. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Mike. I really appreciate it. Will you explain what being called a bank means as a derogatory term in Scientology? Sure. So we were, you're just being your bank. So it would basically be like an equivalent of like you're being hijacked by this like, dysfunctional force. The bank, the so-called bank, is taking over all of you, and you're just basically being dehumanized as a child. You're just being told you're a bank. You're not, stop being a bank. So it's like, again, it's like all these terms that mean nothing, but for us as kids, being called that was not good. You knew that when you were being called that, like bad stuff was about to start happening to you because, they pretty much their go-to was to go to, disgusting bullshit euphemisms to say horrible stuff. Jassine, question: Mike Rinder has stated that the FBI needs more current information, but has anyone checked with the FBI if that's a fact or true? I don't know. I don't think so, Jassy, but it's like the FBI can start doing their job. The FBI can start literally figuring it out. It's called investigate. So use your critical thinking skills, FBI, and figure out how to make sure No other children are being harmed by you not doing your job and just going like, well, yeah, if a child is trafficked, then they really come to us and really figure it out real quick. I mean, we are the prime example, you guys. And I was talking about that with Liz Gale, what she was here. Like, it's taken us to be in our literal midlife. I haven't been in the Sea Org since like, I think I was 20 or 21 when I left, or 22. And I didn't leave thinking that I had been trafficked, thinking that I had been abused. I was told that everything that happened in that hotel was my fault and that I broke a contract, and how dare I? So imagine that that's how it works. And then the FBI is like, oh, we need recent people because otherwise we can't do our job, and better luck next lifetime. So that's really what's being questioned. In what world has Mike Rinder said everything he really does know and nothing can be done about it? His blog is called Something Can Be Done About It, but all we ever get is that for the last 2 decades, nothing has been able to be done about anything. And that's what's so repulsive. In what world are there not a single shred of guardrails instituted? Hillary, the FBI, remember what we found out about the Larry Nassar investigation? Exactly. I mean, that's what you call patterns, you guys. Larry Nassar, Epstein, Scientology. Like, why is it that they always get so kneecapped to do that level of job? If the FBI cannot literally help kids, then what the fuck do you do all day, FBI? Because that would be great to really understand for ourselves. If you're just going like, well, sucks to be a kid in America, hope someone else cares, because we can't care at the FBI. We're too busy chasing our own tails, is what it's giving. Right about now, that is literally what it's giving. FBI director who's being sued. So imagine that, you guys. Imagine how far we have come. The literal FBI is being now sued for the reckless negligence. How many more mistakes can these people do in an investigation? We're talking Epstein. We're talking the very few victims of that scandal who got a tiny glimmer shred of justice. Just because, you know what? Thanks to the Palm Beach police, who did take it serious, who did open an investigation, who did get told to not do one. But you know what? They did put in the paperwork enough to start his downfall. But again, if only a few people cared, then nothing can happen. If the senior leadership of the FBI, if the senior leadership of the LAPD, if the senior leadership of the Clearwater Police, if they're all just playing dumb, then no one can do their job when the leadership is just dumb and lazy and pathetic and gullible and, oh, we're really working hard, but our job is so hard. I'm sure your job is very, very hard, but you know what? You do get paid to do it in the 6 figures. Imagine the FBI gets paid more than the Clearwater Police, more than the LAPD, more than all of them combined. Imagine the FBI is not getting paid a shred of a dollar by Scientology to at least go protect them in their events. But still, nothing. Is Scientology against psychotropic medication and psychotherapy and psychological diagnosis? Yes. Chichikana. They're against any situation you can get into a mandated reporter's office. That's what I've actually summarized it down to, because all this stuff about, oh, we're so anti this and we really believe that. It's like, turns out the only reason you didn't want us being anywhere near psychiatrists or psychologists is because they would be mandated reporters. And if we were telling them the quackery you were doing on us when we were children, if they would have provided a safe space for us to really tell them what in the hell was going on, then perhaps, maybe something could have been done about it. But since they didn't, then that's all we did. Thank you, Panko. I really appreciate you. That's exactly right, Linda. That's literally exactly what happens. I really feel this, Shelly. Thank you. Yeah, Don, but we were just disappeared inside of a hotel. So they are, nobody misses you on the outside. And you come from another country, and it's so easy to be lost in translation, literally, as a child. You're just depending on all of these adults that are coming around pretending that they're very, very confident as to what's going on. Oh my goodness. In what world have we already gone for an hour, 21 minutes, you guys? Well, I think that is the end of our questions for that, you guys. I really appreciate all of you, like I said, listening and holding space for us. It's all such an important part of this recovery process, and it definitely gives us so much hope and so much gratitude that other survivors are finding their voice through our voice, as courage is contagious, and you can see other people being courageous and showing you examples of what that could look like, and seeing that it is safe for you to be that way. We have great examples of courage in this community. So thank you so much for seeing us, and thank you so much for, again, holding space for all of us. And I will see you guys all extremely soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.